Are the Boiling Isles full of adventure or danger? Are all demons evil? And do you think love can bloom, even on a battlefield? For this and more, take a seat and join us in the Owl Pod. As always, I am joined by Anne and Robert. Welcome back, guys. How are we feeling today?
Feeling good.
Feeling absolutely great.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
What's so good?
Well, I was proven right, because clearly, Enid and whatever that wizard thing was definitely had a thing in the past, for sure.
Okay.
The demon, huh? You think they had a thing?
I think
Totally, yeah.
you're just projecting
No.
your desires onto the show.
No, I'm just being goofy. No.
I mean, it sounds like they had a relationship of, business.
They did have a business relationship, which is what I was going to actually lead into, and then less joking better. But, yeah, no, it's just like, it seems like it's going to be a lot of, it's considering the way they, were talking about it, it's like, does everybody have an issue with Enid? And they're like, yeah, pretty much, even though it was just one person, but,
Yeah, Ada seems to piss people off all the time, which is great. We love that for her.
Yeah, Enid. Yeah, totally. I said her name right, for sure. All right, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this episode sees us right after the last episode. Luce is waking up on the second day in the Boiling Isles, wanting to become a full witch, but Ada is not a morning person, so she kind of shuts Luce down right away, which is pretty funny.
What? Why does she have dusty traffic cones in her closet?
What, you don't?
No, my closet's full of dusty computer parts. So admittedly, actually, in a sense, it is a human artifact, actually, that does make contextual sense.
I was about to say.
Yeah, that's on me. That does make sense now that I think about it a little more. That's fair.
Also in this cold open, we get to see a little bit more of Hootie. And
yes.
Did you expect him to be a big tube?
That was interesting, but I will say that I sort of effortlessly just kind of was like, oh, that makes sense.
I was the same way. I wasn't surprised at all. I was like, oh yeah.
I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it shows that we've definitely gotten pulled into whatever the nonsense is of the world.
I have to say, I really like Hootie.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
He's great.
Yeah,
he makes me happy.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a good guy. It's good design. Where we see the tube, it's like, oh yeah, I get that. That's just that. Yeah, that's Hootie. I totally understand.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, no, just if there's going to be a lot of substitution of other words with just hoot, I'm sensing that being a possible trend. It's like, oh geez, it's like hoot. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, he's a very funny character. He does come back. I think he's in every episode. Maybe not, but yeah, he's the house. They're in the house. It's called the Owl House. So there he is. This is also the first episode, since last week was a pilot. We get to see the opening this time, the opening theme and the opening credits.
Ooh, that opening. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, it's really good. And the theme is it's such a bop. It's really, really well written.
Yeah.
It was good. It was kind of catchy in the way that anime openings are, where I'll watch it every time. I won't skip it. I liked it.
Yeah, and it's short. Anime openings for me, they're a minute and a half or so, which I think is a bit too long. This is, 45 seconds or something. It's a pretty short, little video, little clip, and it's well animated. It looks great. It sounds great. I caught onto it really quickly when I watched the show the first time. This is really well made.
I'm happy to see that, even if it wasn't in the episode as a whole, because they did technically have an opportunity to do some smooth animation in the episode, they at least did it in the intro, which is appreciated.
And you'll see the intro every episode, so
I get to see the smooth animation every episode, and I get to go, yes, very nice.
I'm so glad for you.
Just a little snack every once in a week. Might be the same snack every week, but there it is.
It's always good. It always tastes good.
Exactly.
And after
Yeah.
the intro, we get a little bit more of Luce and Ada talking. Like I said, Ada, not a morning person. She's like, "Who are you? I don't remember. Why are you
no,
here?"
I get that. Oh, I get that. I've said this before. I have forgotten my own name in the morning at some point. I woke up and I went, "What's my name again?" No, Ada. Yeah, very much relating to that.
Oh my god, the other day, I think it was yesterday on Saturday, I woke up and I was like, "Oh no, do I have to go to work today? Is today a work day? I don't remember." So, yeah, I think we've all been there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
She's drinking apple blood, which I guess is a stand-in for coffee in this universe.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's like, you mean apple juice? No, apple blood.
Oh, she said apple blood?
Yeah.
I thought she said apple brew.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Ew.
Well,
No.
that's why I didn't really quite get the reaction. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting reaction to apple brew, which just sounds like apple juice.
No, apple blood, very different.
Okay, apple blood. That is indeed quite different.
I thought it was interesting to see the same bit in this TV show as in a Marvel movie at the beginning.
What bit was that?
When the staff flies across the house and breaks everything.
Oh, I loved that. I thought that was so funny. When it hits her in the head at the end, I was like, this is great. This is great comedy.
Yeah. The hitting on the head at the end was the one mix-up, but that's just straight up from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That's the hammer flying through Doctor Strange's fucking...
I mean, it's a pretty tried and true trope, but like it was good. Hitting her in the head, I think, really solidified that. Yeah, this is different. It's a little. It's just a little bit extra, a little bit more spicy.
It was good.
And like this conversation is where Luce is just asking, "Hey, teach me spells. Teach me to be a witch." And Ada pivots into turning Luce into an unpaid intern.
Yeah, that was I mean, technically, she will get payment with her staff, but I don't know.
True, yeah, I guess it's just a different kind of payment.
At this point, I'm still kind of squinting at Ada. At this point, when I was watching it, I was kind of like,
He's paying the rent.
Yeah, I mean...
This is a freeloader.
That's
also
true. This is... Okay, you know what? These are valid points.
So
you're working for education, but... I mean, this is classic standard apprenticeship kind of stuff, actually, in fantasy realm. It makes a lot of sense.
It's a better deal than the human world.
It's true. In the human world, you're unpaid and get nothing out of it.
I was going to say, if Ada was a conglomerate, then I would have issues with this, but I don't. She isn't, so we're good. She's an individual.
She's just living her best life, too. So yeah, she has Luce to go sell potions, snake oil to oil up your snakes, and other stuff, and makes King go with her.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if the oiled snakes will come. I wonder why you would need a well-oiled snake.
Yeah? I mean, can you think of any reasons?
They're slippery.
Yeah, so they can do things extra snake-like. I don't know. I've been thinking about this. It's been on my mind. It's been tearing me apart, Marcus. I have no idea what to think about this.
Yeah, I think really the answer is that it's just a quick little joke. It's a funny gag, and like snake oil is obviously a stand-in in our world for garbage that doesn't work. But then in this world, it has an actual purpose to oil a snake.
I'm just gonna be keeping my eyes peeled on a background at some point for somebody oiling a snake. I will have my. I just want to know. I trust.
Yeah, there's just a ton of good stuff in the background to always look at.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing, is that was the impression I was getting, is that like there's definitely like a sense of like that there'll be like off-mentioned things that will just show up in the background a little bit, which I do love. It was one of my favorite aspects of the TV show Community. But yeah, no, I was glad to see that was something that was sort of showing up here too. I always like it when shows do that.
It's funny, just to have little things in the background, little Easter eggs almost that are just fun to look at.
Anything you've noticed more freshly because you're the one who watched it the most recently?
In terms of like things in the background?
Yeah, or like I guess things around the area that we were talking about at the moment. Because like, yeah, basically.
I mean, nothing that jumps out. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it whenever I have less of a headache. I was just kind of very smooth brain enjoying it. I apologize.
Oh no, yeah, of course.
But yeah, still finding it enjoyable, I assume.
Yeah.
I love the color palette.
See there, yes.
Again, I just have to call out how good the show looks. Everything about... I love the designs and the colors. It's good. I'm not an art person, so I can't really go into detail, but I just like it. It look nice.
It good.
I appreciate that they... How would I put it? This is sort of context that was only revealed upon later by the end of the episode, but it's context now that, like, upon clicking through the episode and sort of looking at it, and sort of like the fashion of like just as we're talking about it, you know, and just seeing like pictures and still frames. They do important work with the environment, given how they talk about it at the end of the episode. Where they actively, that is something that they sort of imply. Like at the very beginning of the episode, that you see sort of structure. And I was just thinking about background stuff, but there's sort of that structure that then is sort of elaborated on at the very end of the episode, because you're looking at the entire episode like from, you know, the up close perspective. But
and then at the end they show it's like, oh, it's a big dead body that looks really cool.
I was gonna wait until later to say anything, but yes. I just meant that, you know, like you can sort of see, I guess, but now you can sort of see like the structures throughout the episode that would have indicated that it was a giant dead body. Like at the very beginning, they have like the super sharp, like curvy mountains like off the coast that you can just see literally from the Owl House, and it's just like in the background. It's just like sitting there around like the 4-minute and 30-second mark. And then they're like, yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, no, I'm glad to see the background stuff is, yes, relevant. Perfect.
I totally agree. It all means something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess getting back to the plot, we just so Luce and King go around trying to make sales and not doing so good. Luce doesn't know this world very well. She thinks it's super cool, but realizes maybe it's not so cool. Some of the people here aren't so nice, and she doesn't understand the culture, I guess, quite yet. And King is just like, yeah, man, this place sucks. What do you want? It's not that good.
Yeah, I mean, I like the whole idea that the approach to like, the episode is just like talking about how like just because you're in a fantasy realm doesn't mean it's not reality. Which is that like these individuals are going to be individuals. There isn't going to be some person who's been waiting like 800 years for like a magic quest, you know, and stuff like that. It's just like it doesn't center around a person. It's just a place, you know. It has different rules, but it is just a place.
Yeah, it feels really real that way.
Yeah. I like that's interesting that they're sort of like taking the first episode that isn't a pilot to establish that. Because I guess the first episode kind of was more like, oh, look, it's Luce, the jailbreaker, breaker of chains, releaser of prisoners, you know. But like, but they kind of sort of like a little bit backtrack just because they're like, no, that was actually just sort of a very, very coincidental thing to happen that usually might not happen, actually.
Like, it feels like, in a way, Ada is more of a protagonist than Luce is, because she's, like, the strong, powerful witch, and Luce is just kind of along for the ride, even though it's from her perspective.
Luce, for sure, has... Ada has, like, roots in the world that make her connected to everything, which kind of, like, yeah. She's already a piece on the board. Luce is just kind of like, hey, what am I doing? Hey, what's going on? Hey. So...
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I just was a little off track at the end.
I mean, I still think of Luce as the protagonist, and Ada is kind of like that. She's not motherly. I was thinking of her like a really cool big sister.
Yeah.
At this point, I think that's probably true. Like, I don't really have much of a bond yet because they just met. So they are just kind of... Although Ada does pick up that Luce might be in danger and really goes out of her way to get her back at the end of the episode, which is nice.
Yes.
Like,
again, it's that sibling thing where you punch them in the face, but if they're like actually in danger, you're like, okay, never mind. I gotta protect you.
And the danger that Luce finds herself in this episode is because royalty-free Dumbledore gives her a fake quest, telling her that she's the chosen one.
Literally Kinko's printed quest on a map. Yeah. With magic revealing ink for only 5 more cents. Wow. Amazing.
It just reveals in the sunlight. It's not special.
Yeah, if you buy in bulk. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, I forgot it was just that it reveals itself in the sunlight. Oh, that was silly.
But yeah, and like when Luce shows the map to Ada, Ada's like, "Girl, this is a con. This isn't real. Forget about it." But then the magic ink shows up, and Luce decides to go on the quest anyway.
Yeah.
I like how the existence of this scam existing and there being multiple maps means that people from the Boiling Isles fall for this.
I was taking it under the impression that multiple people in the past have fallen through the world in such a frequency that they all just get eaten by this one dude.
This is the eater of humans. I mean, maybe. We don't know anything, really. It seems like humans are known in this world, but maybe don't live there, really? Because, I mean, Ada right away pegged Luce as a human, so they're a known entity, but don't really exist there? It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much just because the way the first episodes are of these types of shows, I'm wondering how much, like, the fact that it's like, oh, a shield that only a human can go through seems like a deterrent because it's like, oh, humans are so uncommon that it's like literally like it might seem like there's like a magic spell restriction or something, right?
Okay. Kind of going back an episode, and I just thought of it now. If that kind of like prison thing is where they confiscated items, and apparently they put things in there, does that mean they have a human to put things in there?
Yeah. See, these are the important thoughts here. Or did they just deactivate it somehow by the person who casted the spell? I think that I like the idea of what you're thinking more.
Like, I mean, if you could just deactivate it, then
you're right.
Ada would have done that.
It might be like have to be like the person. I mean, we don't know the magic rules, but like, yeah, I'm just like,
okay, yeah. But interesting thought.
Yeah. Exactly. No, you're right. It's just like I think that's a way cooler assumption to make because it's just all. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, I hope it's not a plot hole.
yeah. I'm. Oh man, because like there's certain like elements here that are sort of stacking up, and that's one of the ones that like really caught my eye that you were talking about. Is that like what is the purpose of having a spell that only humans can get through, and is it maybe just a fact like what it like I was going beyond it and I was like what if I was like why is it like a spell that only humans can go through, or is it just a shield spell and humans can just go through it
because like they have different biology and so like it doesn't affect them. Yeah
and then like Ada just like knows this, so that's why it's not like a spell that like because like Ada's talking about scams and that's like the scammiest thing that Ada has ever said, I feel like, but also could just be plot hole, you know. It's just like, because it was sort of playing into Luce's fantasy of like, oh, I'm the one person that can, but it's like it might just be a convenient thing about the spell is that humans can go through it. But I don't know. I'm looking at this entire show like it's full of scam artists now. I'm just, I don't trust anything.
I'm gonna be honest. That might not be a bad way to look at the show.
Okay.
It's come up a couple times already with scam artists, so it might be a reoccurring theme.
I mean, Ada literally is a scam artist. That's what she's doing at the beginning. She's selling like the human things, and she has no idea what they do. She's just trying to like pawn them off. She's like, it's a genuine... I don't know. I couldn't remember what the thing they called it from The Little Mermaid was. It's like just a fork.
Dingle hopper?
Yeah, dingle hopper. Thank you. Genuine dingle hopper.
I mean, you got to make a living somehow. And if you have a magical portal that can take you to a different world, why not pawn shit off you don't know about?
I hope we get to see the staff in its owl form again.
It's a cool little owl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like I said,
yeah.
Ada is like, this is a con, this is a scam. But Luce goes and follows up on it anyway. And then Ada realizes Luce is gone and decides she better follow Luce to make sure everything is on the up and up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at least that shows that she's not like a total scam artist. You know?
Mm-hmm.
She does at least care, you know?
Yeah, like we said earlier, like kind of sisterly, maybe.
Yeah.
Like good siblings.
She just needs Luce's non-magical properties. Clearly, that she can get anti-magic Luce. She can go and do all the anti-magic things and go through anti-magic portals now.
No, she's good with that big sister angle.
Yeah, I think big sister angle makes more sense. I'm not gonna be super suspicious.
And Luce's first stop on her quest is to this funny little cat village where she meets the character Netherith Blade Strife, Teen Prince of Angstmore, which is a great name.
I love that whole segment because if you were somebody who was young and loved fantasy and happened to like boys as well, that it was like spot on into like your fantasies, I suppose.
It's of the perfect
going on this epic quest, meeting a hot boy and also being in a village of little cat people.
Mm-hmm. And we know Luce loves cute things because she loves to hug and kiss King, who's so adorable. So it just fits. But following that, Ada goes to the castle where royalty-free Dumbledore was living and finds it like it's destroyed. Like it is not all the same nice castle we saw earlier. And this is like uh-oh, something is definitely wrong here. And so continuing on, we go back and forth between Luce and Ada a couple of times. Every time Ada goes to where somewhere Luce has already been, it's decrepit and destroyed, and clearly when Luce was there, it was just an illusion. Luce meets a couple of fun characters. I think there's a fairy. There's a little riddle guy.
I love a little riddle guy.
Me too. I love Chris.
Chris is fantastic. What is my name? It's just on the name tag. We also get
once again.
What's up?
I was gonna say once again, just Chris being the laziest plot device of Kmart Dumbledore.
It's just a riddle guy on a bridge. It's such an easy riddle. Like everything that happens is just so easy. It just is like boosting Luce's ego so much.
It was a Monty Python skit.
Oh my god.
They're trying to cross the bridge. What is your favorite color?
Yes. I only saw that movie recently all the way through. Like I watched the first half so many times, but that section was so funny. Yeah, I love the one guy who's unsure of his favorite color and then he gets sucked into the canyon. It's like, oh my god.
It's like you think you know where that bit is going continuously, and they always like get you off guard with that.
It keeps changing. It's really good. That is a fantastic movie. Also, glad I finally saw it as an adult after years of watching the first half over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, on here is where we get the quote I said earlier. Do you think love can bloom even on a battlefield? Didn't know this, but that is. Interestingly, a direct reference to Metal Gear Solid, where the character of Otacon asks that exact same question to Solid Snake. I don't know why that crossover exists. I don't know who is watching Owl House who also knows about this game from the 90s. But sure, that's cool.
I think the overlap between people who play video games and people who make cartoons is a circle. That's the Venn diagram. It's just a circle.
That's fair.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm just thinking a lot of little tiny references in this one. That means that's 2 so far then.
Yeah, because there's Dumbledore and then this.
Oh, that's 3 actually technically.
What's the reference you're thinking of?
I'm thinking of the Thor's hammer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is technically a reference to Marvel, but
Yeah. I think there might be a more general comedic bit. I guess I can't think of any other examples, but it feels like something that crops up all the time. Maybe I'm wrong,
I
though.
feel like I've seen it before in not Marvel movies because I don't watch them.
Well, okay, yeah, true. I'm just thinking about like, and what other context was there? Somebody like, destroying a house by using like the ability to summon a weapon. It's just very.
I feel like I have some sort of vague memory of someone calling their pet and then the pet like causing a ruckus before jumping in.
Okay, so yeah, it is sort of a repeat. Okay, gotcha. It was just.
But again, I can't think of anything specific. That's just like a vague possible memory I have.
That's sort of a relief because while I do love Thor Ragnarok, I really just genuinely didn't want to see a reference to any sort of Marvel movie in anything. But I figured that they were both Disney properties, so it was likely.
It could happen for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's a relief. Just a little bit. just a tiny one. It's like not like I wasn't too invested, but it was like, oh, okay, good.
They're not quite doing that. Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, then the sort of the climax of this episode, we see the demon revealing themselves to Luce right as Ada comes to the rescue, but the demon captures her and King and tries to like put Luce in like a dream state, like a real, true, awesome fantasy world. But Luce is too smart. He's like, it's cool, but it's not real, so get out of here.
Yeah. Wait, what happened to the staff again, by the way, at the end of the episode?
It just crumbled away.
It just crumbled away. Okay, so it was just... Oh, man, I thought it was going to be like a stick or something, but I forgot. I was like, where'd it go for a moment? I forgot. I will say that my experience when watching this episode was that I was 3D modeling in Blender, and I was trying to make a magic staff, and I went, oh... maybe I need to take a break. I need to look at something. I need to stop thinking about stabs really quickly. And I was like, I'll watch that episode of Owl House, obviously. And the entire episode is about them on a journey to go get a magic staff. And I was like, okay, clearly I'm never going to be released from my hell. Anyway.
Aside from God.
Aside from God. I got so far with my magic staff, it looks so good, and then I realized that the topology is going to have some problems if I want to make it look the way I want to, and I spent hours trying to figure it out.
Oh, that's the worst. In Maya, when I realize topology is wrong, it's like I have to remodel the entire thing because there's a non-manifold vertex that will not sync, and it's like nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, okay, maybe topology is the wrong word. Did I use the word topology?
I mean it could be. It's just there's all kinds of issues in 3D modeling, so.
Yeah, it was just one of the ones where I just realized that I didn't have enough detail. I had made it too simple, in fact, that I didn't want to bake in subdivisions. So okay, I need to not use this language. Oh, this is an Owl House podcast.
I was about to say, you guys are.
Sorry, yeah. My point is that I had been thinking about this for a long time, and then I was like, I'll take a break, and I didn't get my break, but it was a good episode.
Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the episode ends, like we talked about earlier, with a really nice moment, just looking at the boiling isles, this big corpse of an island, where I didn't write down Ada's exact quote, but she tells something to Luce. It's like, we can't wait for an external force or a quest to make us special. We have to choose that for ourselves. We have to make our own future, and that's just really nice.
She said, "Look
very
at us."
Nice.
She said, "We're all bacteria." She said, "We're all bacteria. We're on this dead corpse. We're all living off of it. We're all bacteria, Luce."
I feel like that quote is incorrect.
Yeah, I didn't say it quite correct. It was something along those lines.
I meant Roberts.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You sure? I mean, I'm pretty sure she said that exactly. She shook loose, when all your eyes started going different directions. What are you talking about? I totally remember that. No, I just mean that she was gain some perspective a little bit, because the whole thing is Luce is very focused on herself being the focus point,
Mm-hmm.
But it's the reality is that
it's humbling.
Mm-hmm.
Luce is still a child, so
yeah, I think she's 14.
A child.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just like for context of her exact age, I think she's 14 in these episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which, yeah, a child, but
yeah. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
She's like at the point of like possible sentience.
It's a turbulent time in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to like all the monster designs, but we spent a lot of time with this demon, and I don't remember his name, like Alcatraz or
Alcatraz. Yeah,
I also don't remember.
Okay, well, Alcatraz, he's pretty grotesque, and I feel like I haven't seen a cartoon be so openly grotesque since like Courage or Billy and Mandy. Personally, I can't think of one.
Look up Alcatraz.
His name, I looked it up, is Adagast.
Adagast.
Oh, almost like Radagast from Lord of the Rings. Neat.
Yeah, it is a very gross-looking guy, and it is scary. Like, all the puppets seem... I mean, it's the illusion that they still have sentience, even though it's all probably just controlled by this big baby demon-looking guy. But
their eyes popping out like Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics.
It's really uncanny. Like, they look super dead, but like, yeah, it's good. It's good design.
I want to look at pictures of Adagast. Yeah. And then Adagast turns into being some like small, like cartoonish Cthulian little baby creature at the end that just gets totally eaten. Yeah, so probably not showing up again.
I forgot that happened.
I was shocked by that a little bit.
Yeah.
Not where I thought it was going.
She was like, calamari, and then just went and took a little big bite.
Just ate it. I guess that's okay. I guess demons are animals, I guess. So you just eat them?
Yeah, I mean... Also, the fact that Luce was actively... I don't know if I would call it murder, but that she was full stabbing through things with a plastic sword.
The rage.
Yeah.
Well, her teacher was in danger. Her big sister.
Yeah, it was a plastic sword.
And the adorable dog they both have.
Yes.
It's a cat.
No, you're right. It's definitely a cat. King is a cat.
Will we ever see King without the skull? Probably not. Never.
I feel like it's part of his head.
It looks.
They're
so. Last week.
Like,
what's up?
I was going to say, isn't it like if you take off Cubone's head, they die? Or am I just making that up?
Does King have Cubone rules?
I don't know that. I know Cubone's the skull is it's its mother's skull, but I don't know what happens if you take the skull off. Anyway, what I wanted to say is last week in an interview I was watching about just general Owl House stuff, they touched on King's design, and they were trying to figure out how to make the mouth move, and like, oh, this is kind of difficult, and they just decided, we're just not going to have the mouth move. There's not going to be any mouth, and then that way it's easier to animate, but also they can ad-lib a lot easier, because you don't have to match mouth movements. So the voice actor ends up ad-libbing quite a bunch of stuff, which is cool.
Yeah. Adds a little more organic nature to the conversation.
And you don't really notice that there's not a mouth. Like, it still works.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about... Is it a skull that the little creature is wearing, or is it part of their head? I don't know. Because if it is part of their head, then they're technically not a cat. They are probably, in fact, actually just a demon, like they say they are. The Demon King.
Yeah, he does keep calling himself the King of Demons, so...
Yeah. Truly, maybe actually will find out that he is truly the Demon King. Or King will have his own accidental quest moment where people feed into it like Luce did here, and he gets like, yes, I am the Demon King.
I mean, there's a lot of episodes left. There's probably room for that as a subplot somewhere.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm just...
Then...
yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna change gears. You got something?
No. I was just going... No, continue. Sorry.
So, it's difficult to find, like, supplemental content for Owl House. There doesn't seem to be a lot of it out there. But while looking, I found something truly spectacular. This must have been something that aired on the Disney Channel during the time that Owl House was being released. It's like this short, like, skit. Because if you've ever seen Disney Channel, you know that they don't really air commercials. They just have, like, ads for other shows on Disney Channel, or they have short skits. So there's this thing that Disney made called Look Who's Talking. And it's like a short 2-minute podcast with these two hosts, these two live-action hosts named Horace and Owlivia. And they just talk about the last episode of Owl House. And it's so filled with owl puns. It's incredible. I didn't know this existed. And then I saw it on the Disney Channel YouTube channel. And they have it for a bunch of episodes. And it's incredible. I'm so happy I discovered this. It's great.
I'm so disappointed with the naming.
It's so filled with owl puns. It's crazy.
No, that part doesn't point me. It's just the fact that, like, they went from Horus, famously, like an Egyptian depiction, I believe, of like an owl, like he's got like a bird head and everything, right? To Owlivia, which just feels like they just stopped trying or like didn't think about it as much.
I would argue they tried extra hard for Owlivia.
It sounds kind of like Olivia.
I just looked up owl name puns, and they really missed the mark with Horace's name. That he could have been named Owlfred.
Okay, I guess it depends on what context we want, what we were aiming for. Because yes, you are correct. They could have, if they had gone with both owl. It feels the names feel disjointed. At least we agree on that. So it's like they want one is literally just an owl pun. The other one is a reference to in a deity, which is just a little different.
Is Horace even owl-headed?
Is Horace even an owl? Actually, yeah, that's actually okay. We're checking this in a moment.
Okay, why don't you look it up? I think your keyboard is quieter than my keyboard.
I am already typing away. Yes, falcon-headed. Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, was he? Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, he's a falcon-head. So yeah, no, they way missed the mark with Horace. That's.
I mean, a falcon, an owl, tomato.
Usually depicted with a falcon head. So maybe there is a context in which they actually are not. They are depicted.
Horace. I don't see anything of the sort.
Anyway,
yeah.
This didn't have to be a big thing. I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was neat.
Well, yeah. I'm curious, so
yeah. A lot of it's falcon, but I don't know. It's ancient mythology. It's been probably. Oh wait, that's owl-esque. Owls in ancient. Okay, wait. That was. I'm just looking at owls in ancient Egypt. This is very. They are the patron birds of the goddess Athena, though. So that one I did remember, which is I wonder why they're mentioning it here, though. See, that they could have done something like that. Who knows?
Anyways.
Anyways. Bad naming. Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
why not Owl? Why not Owlbert? It's just like.
Yeah, that's a good name too.
Yeah, no, they missed the mark clearly.
Well, what did they just summarize the episode?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, it was kind of like what we're doing, where they just talk about it, and there might have been some reveals, like non-essential things. I was just caught off guard by the owl puns, and that's what I remember from this short little thing I watched.
We just step up our owl pun game. Is that what I'm hearing?
You can, if you would like. I would not complain.
Who would have guessed? I'm already dying inside. I'll try, Marcus. I'll stick a few in there somehow. We'll work on it.
Okay, thank you. That means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's this episode. So what's left is we gotta talk about next episode. Any predictions? The name of next episode is I Was a Teenage Abomination.
Hi, monster.
Is
it spelled like I?
No, it's just the word I.
Damn.
I'm thinking that it sounds like the reference to the TV show of I Was a Teenage Abomination. Was that it makes me think of the Teenage Robot show that existed? You're talking about?
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it, but I know the name.
I never watched it either, but
like My Life as a Teenage Robot, I think.
Yeah, My Life as a Teenage Robot is immediately what comes to mind reference-wise. But I'm not sure if they're going to continue with a theme of references like that, or maybe that'll just be something they do every once in a while. But this feels like a reference, right?
It does.
It makes me think of slice of life, kind of you know what I mean? Yeah, I was it seems like classic Disney original High School Musical kind of titling. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? It's like Sweet Life, Zack and Cody, I Was a Teenage Abomination. It just has this ring to it.
I have a really good idea what the episode's about. I think that she's either going to drink a potion or a potion falls on her and she turns into a monster. And she's like, no, I want to go back. And it's trying to figure out how to go back. That's my prediction.
Okay.
I'm just wondering about the past tense of the word was.
Well, she got better, presumably.
No, we have to deal with Monster Loose for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I just mean it would be interesting if they it's just interesting that they would they could have gone I'm a Teenage Abomination or something like that. So I'm just wondering why they chose to say I was a Teenage Abomination. It's to reference it in the past tense.
It's probably to match the name of the thing they're referencing closer, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about what that's what my thought is, but I'm just trying to figure out what. I mean, that's not the only thought, but it's just what would it have been if they are referencing something? You know, I don't know, but yeah, I think you're on the right track there. Probably some sort of accident of becoming a magical abomination creature. Yeah. I can't think of any other.
I'm a genius.
Yeah, I can't think of something necessarily better at the moment. It just sounds it's just weird that they would because it's clearly the title has no bearing on what the actual plot is going to be besides the plot being kind of pun-esque, right? A lying witch and a warden is there is a witch and there's a warden, but it's not.
It's not like Chronicles of Narnia.
It's not like Chronicles of Narnia at all. Yeah, exactly. Going, yeah, definitely gonna turn. What's the abomination gonna look like? Is the real question. Clearly. What's going to what abomination-esque things is Luce going to turn into?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Wait and see.
My brain immediately goes to a slime monster, but I just think that I am also projecting my wishes.
That was sort of what was on my mind as well, a little bit. I was just thinking about it, but I was I don't know. They seem to having big monstrous creatures. The first warden has big, octopus arm that goes out and moves around. We literally just fought a giant octopus again in this episode. What if they keep with the trend? Luce is now gonna be the octopus witch, clearly.
Squid.
the squid witch. Squid kid, squid witch, yada yada. Let's get that Splatoon crossover going.
It certainly could be.
Yeah. But yeah, slime monster seems the most likely. That just seems the easiest to do, given.
I am very excited for next episode because I know what's going to happen, and it's something I thought wasn't going to happen for further. And again, I'm surprised how fast this show moves, and I just didn't remember that.
I just realized. Oh man, I have an idea what the next episode's about, but I don't want to say because I'm 100% sure I'm right.
Do it.
Oh.
Say it.
The main intro showed a bunch of new characters, and I am if the episode is named after named in the convention of it being teen television, right? iCarly-esque kind of naming, you know what I mean? This is we're gonna get expanded characters this next episode, and it's gonna be somehow there's gonna be this is how I can't say.
She's going to get turned into a slime monster
and meet people
at Hogwarts.
Oh no, I mean, oh yeah, no, that makes a lot more. Well, they do mention there is a magic school, but I'm just thinking about the context in which I feel.
The magic school's literally in the opening.
Oh yeah, then I just missed that part. I only saw the characters. I was like, faces, good, okay, got it.
They're like,
yeah,
there's like a whole scene where she's in front of like lockers in a hallway.
She's going to get turned into a slime creature at Hogwarts. Yes, exactly. And she's gonna meet because like she's gonna like be introduced. I was thinking she would be introduced to them as a slime creature, like because then she like because if she's a human, that's gonna cause problems, right? Because it's like the humans are not something that's common, right? At a bare minimum, like you have like magical barriers where humans can only go through them. But I don't know.
Lots of good guesses.
Brain ideas.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, yeah, definitely like slime introduction. Like she's gonna get turned into a slime creature and then she's gonna meet a bunch of people and then she's gonna be like, oh man, I guess I can't talk to them ever again because I'm now a human person again. No, that I don't know about. But and that's why they're in the intro, because you never talk to them ever again.
I love it. This is great. Well, I mean, I guess that's our episode. That's episode 2 of the Owl Pod. You can find us on social media. It'll probably be linked down below in the description for whoever wants that to be linked. I don't know if you guys want that or not, but my stuff will be linked. So
you're not linked to my Twitter. I beg of you.
Okay.
You don't need anything from me. We're good.
Not your Twitch or anything.
I am doing game development things at the moment.
Okay, so no links. You can find my stuff down below. But yeah, I guess that's it. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.